I want you to picture this with me. Close your eyes if you have to. You're out by the beach side. Sun right above you, beating down on your shoulders. Smell of sun cream and barbecue smoke filling your nose. And you look down on your feet and it is a crispy pair of the Yeezy 350 V2 Bone. Oh man, I am excited for this. So here we have the Yeezy 350 box. Hey, let's get through this nice and quick. 350 on the top, Boost on the side. Let's slide these open. I cannot wait to get into this one, guys. Whew. It is the Yeezy 350 V2 Bone. Oh, here we go, guys. Listen, it doesn't get much cleaner than this. First thing I thought when I pulled these out of the box, these are not white. I mean, like, obviously, yes, these are white, but not as white as they're showing up on camera and not as white as I saw in those pictures. Like, just for comparison, let's say solid white Jordan 4, this is the white Oreos. Take a look at this. Like, can you tell the difference there? I don't know, it's still a little bit dodgy on camera. Okay, how about this? Ultra Boost, okay, these are a little bit dirty, but Ultra Boost 21 in the triple white colorway versus the Bone 350s. Can you tell, like, those cream undertones that exist with this sneaker? Either way, just wanted to get that out of the way. It's kind of the first thing that I thought. As soon as I saw Yeezy was going to be dropping another triple white pair of 350s, I knew I had to get them. And with summer right around the corner, this is an essential. Now listen, I'm one of the few people that never managed to get the original triple whites, the cream pair, even though I think they dropped like a million, literally a million of those back in the day. So for me, this is a big one. I think triple white pairs of 350s, it just goes together perfectly. This has got to be as simple as it gets, as clean as it gets. Now, there are a few things that honestly we do need to get into, specifically about the knit of this pair of shoes, because it seems like they decided to go back into the archives with the actual knit construction of this pair of 350s. But before we get into all of that, a couple release specifics about the Bone Yeezy 350. They dropped on March the 21st. They retail for £200 and $230 out in the US. Now, the release of these ended up being a little bit strange because unlike normal Yeezy 350 drops where you can go and enter raffles at different retailers, they decided to make this an Adidas Confirmed app and YeezySupply exclusive, which meant that they were relatively limited. And of course, it meant that I took an L because the Adidas Confirmed app hates me. Can we talk about the retail price real quick, because this is getting so weird and so confusing. They keep chopping and changing the retail price on 350s recently. Like, I feel like it all started back when the Beluga Reflectives dropped last year, and those were £210 here in the UK, and there was a slight increase, had the Dazzling Blues, and those were 200. But then the Oreos restocked, and those were 180. So what is it, Adidas? What is the retail price of a 350 nowadays? Is it 180? Is it 200? I don't know, but it just seems like they're kind of testing different price points to see what we're willing to pay. First, can we welcome back the pull tab, guys? Can we give a nice warm welcome to the pull tab that is back on this pair of shoes? One thing that I found pretty interesting is how tight this pull tab is attached to the pair of sneakers. Maybe it's different for other people, but it seems like it's a lot closer to the pair of shoes, and it's almost a struggle to get your finger in there to actually use it as a pull tab. In fact, it almost seems like there's a difference from left to right, like one is tighter up against the back of the sneaker than the other. But either way, I'm glad it's back. I've always liked 350s with the pull tab. I think it looks clean. and I'm happy. There is a semi-translucent stripe that extends the entire side of the sneaker. Now, obviously, because this is a triple white colorway, this ends up being very translucent, so you can see my fingers in there. Whatever sock color you're choosing is definitely going to show through on this pair of sneakers. Pro or con, however you want to take it. They've also got regular laces on here, so they decided not to chuck the infinity loop on here, which again I kind of like because you get the adjustability of sometimes wearing them unlaced, which I think looks pretty cool, or again you can wear them like this, wear them however you want, but it's more options than you would get with the infinity loop. And I guess that brings us to the knit material. One of the bigger surprises I had when getting these in hand was the actual construction of this pair of shoes. So as we know, the knit material of a Yeezy 350 is not identical from one to the other. A lot of times they've changed it up, like they went from the original stripe variant to the, I guess, static is what we're calling it, when they introduced the stripe back in the day, and each time there has been some kind of evolution with this knit material. So looking and feeling this knit material, it's actually the same knit that they used on the Yeezy 350 Zions, the Israfils, and I think that's pretty much it. What I found with this particular style of knit is that it's a lot thinner in some regions, like down here just below the actual translucent stripe. It's a very thin knit, a lot thinner than traditionally on other pairs of 350s. Also around on the medial side of the pair of shoes, you get a big section over here that's also extremely thin. And I guess what ends up happening, or at least I found with my Zion, they end up stretching a lot more over time, almost to a point where it gets almost a little bit too big and you kind of want them to be a little bit more tight. And that brings us to the midsole, which is a nice white color. Now it's a very milky white, so it still keeps that almost semi-translucent where you can kind of see the boost that's on the inside. The most important thing is that you can feel it, and when you do feel it, you give it a nice squish. It feels nice, soft, and incredibly comfortable when you're wearing it. We've also got some new logos on this pair of sneakers. So if you take a peek into the insole, you'll see that little globe logo that you see on the insole there is actually an indicator for the fact that this sneaker is made with some degree of recycled products. Adidas's partnership with Parley of the Oceans has now extended into the Yeezy lineup. Whenever you see that logo, just know that Adidas has thrown some kind of recycled material into this. Either way, let's talk about sizing. I would say still go a half size up on this, even though I would say that this knit material is a lot more forgiving. So maybe you got a pair in, you feel like it's a little bit tight. Just know that the material over time stretches a little bit, so it should be good. Maybe if it's too incredibly tight to the point where it's uncomfortable, you might want to go up an extra half size, but generally speaking, Yeezy 350, same story, go a half size up. And a banger for the summertime, guys. This is going to replace my Ultra Boost 21 for the gym. I'm going to be wearing these to the beach, to the barbecues, to the sunshine, Corona holding, lawn chair, whatever I'm doing in the summer, vacation. Either way, this is going to become my new staple 350. I love white pairs of shoes. Either way, guys, that wraps it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another one. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.